and I left it on again. I tried to take it off and it said hide. Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode, episode 10 of Good Day Gay Podcast. I'm Russell Ray along with my co-host Paulie B. What up, Paulie B? Happy
Hey,
holidays.
happy holidays. How are you? How's it
I'm
going?
I'm good. I'm tired.
Yes.
I am tired. Look,
Yes.
so I know you all don't celebrate Thanksgiving because it's a whole different thing down there versus here.
Mm,
But
mm.
Thanksgiving was 3 weeks ago, and now it's Christmas in T minus what's today, the 20th? In T minus 5 days. And it's yes. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
The presents are in the boxes, they're just not wrapped. So if you all
I
seen my
don't.
Instagram and you saw the one box that I wrapped, that will be all that'll be getting accomplished for today.
Just the one
How are
box.
you?
I'm good. I'm tired as well, and I don't know. Like, I was talking about it with a friend where it was like, when you think about it, like what you did this week is most likely what you did like 2-3 weeks ago, right? But for some
Yes.
reason, because it's December, you're like tired AF. You're like, oh, I can't wait to get to the new year. It's like, well, what's the difference? Like, it's just weird. Like, psychologically, it's weird. That, or like we're legitimately burnt out, and I don't know how I can be burnt out when I took 6 months off this year. Like, how does that work?
I'm burned out because I don't have enough caffeine in my system. So there's that. I'm
You,
also
you
burned
need
out because
caffeine.
I'm tired of working and I need to be I need the podcast to monetize so that we can stop working.
The podcast will monetize because we are live on Instagram.
We are
Shout
live
out
on
to
Instagram.
shout out to
Go
everyone
ahead.
live on Instagram. I've
How many
got
people do you have?
right now. I've got 5 viewers. I've got my sister-in-law viewing. She says hi,
Hey,
Paul.
sister-in-law.
I've also got one of the rugby girls, one of the rugby queens.
Hey, Rugby Queen.
She's going, Paul. So yeah, we're live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube. We are live. And I've got a new background today. And I've got painted nails.
Oh, we are live. Yes. So hold on. We are live on YouTube. Let me drag. Sorry, y'all. I got 3 screens. So let me drag this over so I can see.
Russell is the
Um,
IT person of our group. And also, in terms of IT, I remembered I have to do a shout out today. I need to do a shout out to my friend Ash because he has been loaning me his laptop every week to do the podcast. He's basically a sponsor of the podcast. So thank you, Ash.
Thank you, Ash, for sponsoring the podcast because Paul doesn't have a laptop.
And shout out to Maggie Chan in Sydney. She's going on Instagram Live. Where is my shout out? Here is your shout out, Maggie. Maggie Chan, shout out to you.
I have one person who's currently on live. I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've had 5 people click on and click off. So that's fun. So let's get into it. Today we're talking about sleigh bells and new beginnings, I should have put holiday instead of holidays, but whatever.
It's all right.
Holiday
We'll say
reflections
holiday.
and 2024. That's not supposed to say
I was
goals.
gonna say, I think you. I was gonna say, I think you got that title wrong, and I forgot to tell you. I was like, Russ. Oh wait, what did we say before? We said we're
Can I
gay. We're
edit
not.
this? Let me see if I can edit this live.
Look,
Oh,
at the end of
perfect.
the day, we
2025 goals. We're gonna
apologize.
edit this.
We
Sorry, y'all. Just
apologize
stay
to
with us while I
everyone.
edit all of this. 2 seconds. Please hold.
Russ and
2025.
we've said this before. We are gay. We're not smart. Okay, you either
You
have
know,
smarts or you have gays, and we fell in the gay category. So sorry, guys.
we are smart. I wouldn't put us in the intelligent category because we figured this out. Okay, so thank you all for hanging
We
in there with us.
did.
So
We did.
now the title should have changed now. 2025. Um, yeah. Okay. So going into traditions, let's talk about it because you and I kind of had a little bit of this conversation last week.
Yes.
It is summer in Australia. It is winter here. So I'm just curious, when you're celebrating Christmas and you have Christmas music on and the song "The Weather Outside is Frightful," do you guys interpret that differently? Or what does that come out
Uh,
to? Because I feel like it's so hot there. We talk about cold weather here, and all of our songs are about cold weather, and it's snowing, and it's so beautiful. And like Santa Claus can be at the North Pole regardless because it's the North Pole. But I mean, you're more south
Yeah.
with no snow.
I think it's like I don't know if there was ever a time in my life where it did occur to me that the what's it called? I'm having a mental blank. That the Christmas carols like talked a lot about snow and a lot about what's that song like, baby, it's cold outside or whatever. That was
Mhm.
really bad. But the one where they're like, it's cold, like let's stay in because we're snowed in, all of that kind of stuff. Like it never really occurred to me for that reason. Do you know what I mean? Like when I think of Christmas, so I'm originally from Darwin, and every Christmas it rains. Like in Darwin, every Christmas there's literally a chance of a cyclone happening, and so that's
Oh.
just I always think of Christmas. And then here in South Australia, Christmas, I think of like scorching hot weather, like within the 40s. And so, you know, you run down to the beach or you just have like a nice hot day. Like that's just always what I associate Christmas in Australia with. But probably wasn't until I did my first Europe trip, which was in winter, that I got
Yes.
to experience like a white Christmas. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is beautiful. Like this is what they mean by, you know, the sparkling lights, like the snow. It's amazing. Mm.
Well, I was in Paris last week, and it was even colder there than it is here in California, and everyone's walking around in their coats. But when you decorate, do you
Mm.
like behind me? You can see I have snowmen, reindeers, Christmas trees. So, how do you decorate when it comes to Christmas? Because I mean, I guess the real question is: are we decorating with Christmas? Like, are we decorating with snowmen and reindeers because Santa Claus is in the North Pole and it's considered with snow, or is it because the tradition is it's normally cold here, so that's why we decorate with these things? Like, what does your Santa Claus wear?
Santa Claus probably. I was talking about this with a friend the other day, actually, where like Santa is wearing a jacket. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, he lives in the North Pole, so he has to wear a jacket, right? Like,
I wear jackets too, but when I go to Australia during the summer, I'm in a tank top and booty shorts.
I I just my
So
mind
does
just
Santa
went
not
somewhere.
take off his jacket and like pull
That,
the guns out and like,
that's
hey,
literally
we're
where I just
delivering
thought.
presents?
You
Because
know,
all the
last
gym
week
bros do it. Apparently, one was doing it today in our gym, just running around in a Santa outfit that has shorts and short sleeves. So does Santa Claus not do that in Australia?
last week we talked about thirst traps. In my mind, I literally just like picture Santa like flying across the sky, and then as soon as he gets into warmer weather, he just like takes off that jacket and he's like ripped AF. Do you know what I mean? Like a daddy, ripped daddy Santa.
Australian Santa is ripped, okay, because you all have a better diet than we do. United States Santa Claus has diabetes because everything is filled with sugar here, and the red dye and blue dye and every single dye that we shouldn't be having.
All the dyes. But yeah, so in terms of decorations, like, well, one, I'm really bad at decoration, so I don't decorate. But when you look at, you know, people's houses that they've set up and everything, they'll always have the traditional, like, you know, blown up snowmen, blown up Santa, blown up reindeer. But then sometimes there'll be like a random kangaroo in someone's like backyard, like wearing a Christmas hat or something. So
That's
yeah, yeah,
cute.
I think they just incorporate Australia um within their decorations. Um, yeah. Rugby girl says Zaddy Claus question mark.
Jamie Rogers said, "Didn't need to think about a round, round bearded man in booty shorts." What? You don't go to Bearfest? Come on, Jamie, get it together. Um, but I mean, it goes with, like, if you look behind me, right? So Tori Kelly is in a middle of a snowstorm for her album cover, and then you have Michael Bublé, who's also in the middle of a snowstorm for his Christmas cover. So, is anybody? Do Australian artists make their Christmas albums like this, or is it like it's Kylie Minogue and she's on Bondi Beach
Yeah.
and there's like a sandcastle snowman?
I'm such a bad Aussie because I'm just logging into Spotify now. Like such a bad Aussie, I can't even think
But
about
these aren't normal questions. I feel like that people ask. They just
yeah. Well, it's that's right. It's like all of the pop stars. majority live in like Europe, London,
Mhm.
UK, the US, and it is snowing around that time of the year. So it makes sense. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like, we need Australian representation in the Christmas
That's you,
market.
girl.
Oh.
You are the
I'll
Australian
try.
representation.
You know what? You know what? Next time I'm gonna wear a Santa Claus outfit with booty shorts. Like that's where it's gonna go. That's the Australian representation there.
Jamie, we're
I'll do
coming for
it.
you. That
We're-
outfit is specifically for Jamie.
Ooh, I better get to the gym then.
Now, do you have a large family, or is your family for the holidays? Is it strictly family that comes around, or is there chosen family that's involved?
In terms of my Christmas, it's family. Like we
Okay.
have a big family and it's always going to be like my cousins and then their partners as well, like their extended family. I was actually thinking like my favorite Christmas so far is um everyone, all the Darwin family came down to Adelaide and we had
Oh, I
like
love that.
we had like a massive Christmas party at my brother's house. There were like 40 people. It was like my family, my cousin's family, my sister-in-law's in-laws, like my other cousins in-laws. Like it just went from like my family to their partners to their family, and it was amazing. Like it was just such a good time. And yeah, definitely Christmas for me is for family. I do have my little friendsmas as well, so I've also got like, you know, my chosen family. We always do something too.
Love
um
that.
yeah, it's, I don't know. Christmas is definitely about family for me, about just
What do
being
you
together.
What do you eat?
What do
Like,
we eat?
what's the cuisine in Australia for Christmas? Like, do you have a big ass turkey? Is it a ham? Is it like
Nah, mate.
capybara? Like
Nah, mate. We just got a shrimp on the barbie. Nah,
stupid.
nah.
What like here it's like pozole, tamales, it's like all the hot foods, right? So
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you all still is it still like, well, we're still gonna make hot foods regardless of the season, or is it more like, oh, we're gonna throw like, I don't know, more like skewers and more like barbecue-esque type
Look,
style foods?
I would say then, like, say Filipinos. Filipinos will always have like a lechon or like, you know, some kind of like roast pig, like, or roast pork. Like Filipinos
Mm,
will always have that. In terms of like when I think of like a Western, Aussie Western sort of Christmas, there'll always be like the ham with the
mhm.
pineapple.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, and then a very like massive Australian thing, which, you know, there's the argument between Australia versus New Zealand, like who created it first, is the pavlova. Have you ever
What
had
is
a pav?
that?
You've never had a pav?
No.
You don't have a
No.
pav? You never had a pav?
I don't know what it
A,
is.
a pavlova. Okay, let's see if I can describe this. Viewers, if you can help me describe a pavlova, help me right now. So it's like meringue. It's basically like a
Mm.
meringue cake with like trifle, like you can put sponge cake in it as well, some fruit, some like berry kool-aid. That's like a pav. A pav is always like
It's like a parfait, like a giant parfait, or
yeah.
like a mascarpone trifle for like Italian, where it's like
Well, I mean,
mascarpone cheese, cake, layers of fruits.
yeah, because a Christmas trifle is also a Christmas thing, right? Is that a thing? Do you guys have trifles or
I don't know
Christmas
if it's a
trifle?
thing here, but I know what a trifle is. Like we've made that before.
Yeah, see, maybe that's an Aussie thing, or maybe it's a UK thing. I don't know. I should be more cultured.
That's a culture thing, and you know America, we have minimal culture.
What about you? What are you eating? What are your traditions?
We are mac and cheese, ham,
Mm.
pozole. We'll probably do pozole this year. We didn't do it last year, or I made it last year. That's a whole story in itself.
Is that like a
Tamales,
Mexican, like, do like in terms of a
yes,
Mexican Christmas, like you always have that cuisine?
yes. Eh, do you know what pozole is? Well, for the viewers that
No.
don't know what pozole is, someone described it, and I'm only gonna quote their words because this is never how I would describe this. Pozole, they said, is Mexican pho. And I was like, absolutely
Oh,
not. It is absolutely not. It is
so it's like a soup.
a it's a chicken broth based soup with
Yeah.
um giant corn kernels, which is called hominy,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have chunks of chicken in there. It's made with
Yes.
tomatillos and jalapenos, onion, garlic.
Okay, then.
What else? What else? You add oregano to it. You add chopped
Yum.
cabbage, cilantro. What else do we put in there? You can basically, oh, you can put lime in there. Lime is really good. It's also great for hangovers, just like menudo. Menudo is very similar, but instead of being made with chicken, it's made with beef tripe.
Yeah.
And so you put beef tripe in there instead, honeycomb beef tripe. And so, yeah, so that is pozole. I would not compare it as Mexican pho, but I was very
We
caught off guard when a homeboy said it that way. I said, "Oh right, okay, I'm
yeah,
definitely in
see,
LA."
yeah, when you're describing that, I'm thinking of like a Filipino soup called tinola, which is very similar, like chicken
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
broth. Tinola, you've had tinola? Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I think of. But we don't put in like cilantro, we don't put jalapeno, like just Filipinos don't vibe with that. I vibe with that, but like most of the time that just doesn't go in like a Filipino dish. But yeah, I think of tinola when you say that. Um,
Got it.
oh my God, I'm getting so
But is
hungry
that a thing
now.
for getting back to my question, is that a thing for Christmas for you all? Like, we're gonna make this hot soup?
It's always like I'm like it's always going to be a lechon, and then in terms of dessert, there'll always be like a leche flan. There'll be like the dessert. I think we always do like as well, like having round fruit. That's more a New Year's Eve thing as well.
Okay.
Like have yeah round fruit because round fruit are supposed to represent like prosperity. Um, yeah, what do we have? We just a Filipino party is the same all year round. You know what I mean? It's just literally getting together to eat, like
It's literally
a
the same for
lechon.
Mexicans.
Literally, like, what's an excuse to eat? Let's just get together. Oh, Christmas, Jesus's birthday. Yeah, let's do it. Let's eat.
Jesus' birthday. Literally, there's three Jesuses in my family. So yes, we're going to eat on Jesus' birthday every single time.
Jesus.
Now let's move away from the holistic things. Now that we've talked about holiday traditions and chosen families, and let's get into the real dirt. Let's talk about lessons learned in 2024. I don't know about everybody who's listening, but I've definitely learned a lot of my own lessons this year. But we'll start with
Mhm.
Paul because I'm a gentleman, and Paul should put everything on blast first.
Oh my God, you literally just threw me on the bus just then. Okay, let's think about it. So, no, 2024 for me was amazing. Like, I did something that it's weird. Like, I remember, okay, this is why can't I ever tell a story? Just like telling the story in advance in my head. So, this year, I obviously took 6 months off of work and I traveled.
Mhm.
In my mind, I thought that I was going to be living abroad for 6 months. But by the time I was on my third Italian beach, I was like, no, this is very much like a holiday. Um, but I just remember thinking, like, leading up to this 6 months off of work, I was really scared and I was really anxious. And by the time I did it, I was like, this is the best thing that's happened to me. So I think one of the lessons I've learned this year is that I just have to trust my gut. Like I'm a planner, and so I like to plan things. I like to think things through. If I've made up a decision, like I've made up my decision, and that's probably another thing about me where I can't make a hard decision. Um, but yeah, if I've planned something, if I've made it through, like it's always going to work out. So yeah, I think 2024, I need to trust my gut.
Mm.
Um, One of the biggest lessons I've learned this year as well was just I think I learned a lot about myself while I was away traveling for 6 months. Like one of the
Mhm.
things that I learned was that I actually like my alone time, which is really weird because I am a very extroverted person and I am a bit popular. Like people want to hang out with me. So so I guess I don't give myself that time to actually be alone and to give back to myself.
Mhm.
So when I was overseas for 6 months alone, like I loved it. I actually loved being by myself, being with my own thoughts, doing what I want to do. It was a good time. So that's probably the biggest thing I learned, as well as I think I just have to give to myself, if that makes sense. Like this year, there probably were a few times where I've been giving to people more than I should have given to them.
Like
And
energy wise or effort, or
in
are you
terms of,
talking financially?
I'm thinking like in terms of, I guess like when I maybe I'm talking relationship wise then, yeah. So I guess relationship wise, like I gave more than I should have given, and I probably should have picked up the signs that I was giving too much.
Mm,
I did pick up those signs, but I should have listened to those signs. So I think that's probably something that I definitely want to work on next year. Um,
okay.
but at the same time, I'm also someone that just, if I want to do something and if I want to invest in something, I do it. And I think this year was a bit of my yes year, which was probably like the last thing that I learned this year, which was to just, like, the universe throws things at you
Full
and
throttle, just no warning at times.
full throttle. And I think like there's a value in saying yes. Like, obviously, like something might be thrown at you and you say yes, and it could be a completely impulsive decision, which could have bad results. But,
Mhm.
I think like if something seems right to you and it feels right, like saying yes. Like when I said yes this year, I said yes to like a Gucci bag in I found like this amazing Gucci bag in San Francisco, and it was like a freaking score, like it was a deal, and I bought it and it's one of my favorite bags. Um I went on a cruise to the Bahamas with my cousins, like they really had to convince me, and all of a sudden I just said, you know what, yes, let's do it, let's go to the Bahamas, let's do it. And it was amazing. This podcast, like literally saying yes to this podcast and loving it, like connecting with people, connecting more with you, like, yeah, 2024 has just been a good year, and I think it's made me think more about what I want out of life, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yes, that does
Yeah.
make sense. And you know
Yeah.
what happened naturally with this podcast is that we just kind of jumped into it feet first and then figured out the rest later. Even though like,
Mm.
and we've teetered back and forth between my Friday and my Saturday and your
Yeah.
Saturday and your Sunday, but like for some reason it always works out. And
Yes.
so
Yeah.
that's been nice, because sometimes when you're trying to schedule with someone, there, like there's inconsiderations that are being, like, for example, if we try to have on a viewer, or I mean a viewer or a guest, and it's like,
Mm.
oh, well, you know what, I decided I'm actually going to work that weekend, and it's like, well, we just put all this effort into booking you for this podcast and interview, and now we got to like take a new angle, which is fine because you and I do fine with that. But this probably has been one of the easier podcasts that I've been able to do,
Yeah.
where it's just unfolding at the right time, at the right pace. It's moving along, it's moving forward. We have our own Instagram at Good Day Gay Podcast. If you all haven't followed it yet, please go ahead and follow that, like, subscribe, share, get us to that 100,000 followers,
Yes, please.
because and like, your videos are great when you do these, or when you do your reels. They're so good. I'm over here. I have to think unconventionally. I feel like the reels come super natural to you. And if I just turned off
Aw.
the news broadcasting hard, just drawn into my head for 6 years,
Yeah.
I think I would probably do a little better, and I would be like more on your page. So like, I really appreciate that you do that, because
I think
your videos are great. And mine is more like reporting to you live, and it's like, this is not working in
that's
today's
But I think
society.
that's where we're like, I feel like we're channeling Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande now, where we're just like throwing love at each other at the moment. And I
Yes. Oh my
but I think
gosh.
that
Yes. Yes.
but I think that that's where, when you and I were talking about this podcast, I think we were in a point in our lives this year where we just felt like we needed a creative outlet, because you and
Something.
I are creative people. And
Yes.
I think we have that energy. Like a lot of people have said to me that the podcast is great because you and I have that vibe together. And I think that's where, you know, like we both bring different strengths to this podcast, and
Yes.
like, yeah, I don't know. I've just been really loving doing it with you for the past 10 weeks. And
Same. Oh my
yes, I
gosh.
appreciate you so
Thank
much. Oh my
you.
gosh.
Thank you. Let's lessons that I've learned this year.
Yes, tell
There's
me.
been a there's been a few. There's been a few. One of them is fitness wise.
Mm.
Everyone online will always say this is going back to MySpace days. This is going back to Vine days. If you eat right, your body will change. Like, and this is like within reason, right? 80% eating correctly, 20% having whatever you want on the weekends. I've noticed my most growth this year when I finally just sat back and started eating chicken, rice, and broccoli. I gained more muscle in 5 weeks. I think it was like 4.5. So like about 5 weeks than I had gained the previous year. And I'm like, what did I do differently? I was taking my vitamins regularly and I was just eating foods that we should be eating with less sugar, which is chicken, rice, and broccoli, because
Mm.
the starches in rice your body can break down. It's not artificial sugar. It's everything in that is natural. The rice is powering my workouts. The vegetables are suppressing any estrogen. Green vegetables, just in case people don't know, green vegetables suppress estrogen in the male body and promote testosterone levels.
Mm.
And your chicken is your protein. And before I was like, I'll go to In-N-Out Burger. I'll have a little Chick-fil-A, or I'll have Cane's, Raising Cane's chicken, and I'll get the sauce. Shane and I love this place um called why am I drawing a blank right now? Shane, what's that place called?
Ah.
Jaybirds. Shane is right here
um
working next to me. But Jaybirds chicken, and we love a hot Nashville chicken sandwich with hot fries on the side.
mm.
So
Yum.
that stuff actually does hinder your growth process. So just stick to the basics, and the most basic, if you don't know how to cook, throw your chicken breast in the air fryer for 25 minutes at 400 degrees, salt and pepper, and it'll taste like a rotisserie chicken. So that has been
I
one
think
lesson that I've learned.
I think just on that lesson though, sorry, I'm just need to find a profile on Instagram. But I think on that lesson though, like, one thing that you and I have talked about for the past 10 weeks is about knowing yourself in your 30s. And I think in your 30s, you learn your body, like, what works to your body, how your body reacts to certain foods and reacts to certain workouts.
Yes.
It's just something that you learn in your 30s. And I just want to give a shout out to one of the trainers at my gym. His Instagram is Raul the Trainer, and he posts a lot of videos in terms of like, look, this is what X amount of calories look like. It could be a handful of almonds versus like a meal at McDonald's. Do you know what I mean? Like
I love
he does good
McDonald's.
videos like that. But yeah, I guess to the viewers as well, one thing that Russ and I have been talking about is doing a workout video together next year.
Oh Lord. Well, not together, but like,
Be-
yes, we're our
yeah,
first perspective of our
yeah.
workouts in the year. So
So
my
give us a
workouts
workout.
are normally
I-
intense. My workouts are fine, but like I
yeah,
think I'm gonna start doing some hit at the beginning of the year just to kind of
yeah, do it.
intensify it, or yoga. So maybe we can do our videos from our perspective at the gym while we're going through
Yeah,
this. I don't
yeah,
know how
let's do
yogis
it.
would feel about that, but I mean, we all have to start somewhere.
We've got to start
Um,
somewhere. But yeah, sorry. What else have you learned this year?
Lessons also that I have learned is even if you think you know someone, think twice because again, this is why celebrities keep their circles small, right? You need to be able to trust people that you're surrounded by, and um I am very lucky to have some good friends that I can tell anything and everything to, and we can just go ham on each other, and it's fine. It'll never leave that conversation. And sometimes you have conversations that get out of the circle, not from my friends, right? Not from specifically from the friends that I
Mm.
just referenced, but from, newer friends that you meet, and they go and they tell the story in their own way, and then it creates tension where there needs to not be tension. Like,
Mm.
just mind your own business, or if I do make
Mm.
a comment, that is my personal business,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean? But then again, don't say anything that you wouldn't want anybody to hear. So anybody can confront me about anything I've ever said, and it's fine.
But
Now, if
also
you really want to hear the truth, I will tell you, but just be careful when you approach me with it, because I will have to just let you know.
but also it's 2024, babes. Like, why are we throwing people under the bus in 2024? Like, why are we doing that to each other? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
let's just be genuine people. Let's just be adults. Like,
But
why are
also,
people still doing that?
you can make a comment as in, like, oh, if someone's like, oh, I know such and such, like, oh yeah, like they're not really my vibe. Why is that a bad thing? You
Mm.
know what you want to be around, and you know what you don't want to be around.
Yeah,
So
that's
someone
it.
taking that further and being like, oh, well, this person doesn't like you. Like, no, I didn't say I didn't like you. I just said you weren't my vibe.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
okay, because I might not be your vibe either. I just, when I start dancing on tables, you might not like that. Or when I have a glass of champagne in my hand or my tequila shot, you might not like that. And that's okay. But I've learned that, even in your 30s, you still have the few also in their 30s who believe that they're still in their 20s. And that's unfortunate, because you miss out on good aspects of life when you don't grow
Mm.
into the next generation that you're supposed to be,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's also been a lesson. A third lesson that I've learned is
Yeah.
to relax when I need it, and that's it.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't
Yes.
mean I'm lazy. It doesn't mean I care less about you.
No.
If my body can't take it and I just need a nap all day, or if I don't want to go to a party or to the bar and I want to
Yeah.
stay in, that is perfectly okay,
Yeah.
because I'm always nonstop go, 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 go. And I'm learning to rest.
I think it's like so funny that you said that, because I think that's one of the things that I learned on my 6 months off, which was to give myself that rest time. And I'm going to say it on the podcast right now. My friends are not going to believe me, but I kind of just want to stay in this New Year's Eve. Is that bad?
That's
I'm
that's
saying
good
it.
for you.
I'm saying it live right now. Like, you're probably going to see pictures of me out, but but I'm going to try. I'm going to try.
Look, everyone who's in the live chat right now, do not force Paul to do anything that he does not want to do on New Year's Eve. Okay? If he doesn't want to go
Because
out,
I'll
let
do
him
it
live in
anyway.
peace. Give him a bottle of champagne at his house, or go join him at his house.
No,
Which,
let's be honest.
honestly,
I'm
I'm
not
that
going to do
person.
something.
Look, I'd much rather book a DJ and pay a full DJ fee for 10 people at
Yes.
my own house than go worry about
Yes.
being at a bar, paying for drinks, and then waiting in line for the restroom.
You know what? Like, I've written some goals this year, and I think that's one of the things that I want to do this year, because I've been obsessed with on YouTube the DJ sets in people's houses and people's,
Mhm.
those DJ sets where people are like, and there's always that one person next to the DJ like this, like like going hard, like in the boiler room. Like, I think I've been talking to a friend about that, and we've been saying we need to put on a party like this, because I think that's where parties are going these days. Like, they're coming from out of the bars and out of the clubs into people's houses. Like, I think that's where parties are at these days, in house parties.
Well, I mean, look, let's just dial this back for a second, because me and my friend have said this time and time again. Gen Z wants to be a millennial so bad, and house parties were a millennial thing. It was like, I remember going to house parties. It was also, yes, that's an 80s thing, which is also millennial. So it was a millennial
Yes.
thing. And then we grew up and we got into our 20s and we decided that we wanted to go to the club, but we always
Yes.
pre-gamed at the house. We were
Yes.
all tore up when we showed up, but we all,
Mhm.
we got the outfits together and we made it out eventually around midnight, and we made it to the club for an hour. Now, Gen Z really, as much as they rag on us on TikTok all the time, I hear it all the time. Like, to the older generation, so y'all need to get off of TikTok because you do not look, yo, the oversized baggy jeans, the
Yes.
overalls, they're coming, the jelly shoes. You lesson learned in 2024 is that Gen Z wants to be a millennial so bad, more than a millennial even wants to be a millennial, because you all don't know what a true millennial has gone through. Okay, let me just tell you, the true millennial experience is being told if you go to college and get an education, you're gonna be rich. Okay,
Am I rich?
the faux millennial is Gen Z, who is not told to go to college by us, told to make money on the internet by us, and then want to dress like us, have our personalities, and start throwing house parties now. I digress. But y'all want to be us so bad. You want to be us so bad. You could never. Okay. I have an original all that jacket still in my closet. Okay. Don't come for me.
I
All
just
these
want.
remakes. Nobody asked for a remake of anything. Okay. Don't be messing up the Fairly Odd Parents.
All I want is for everyone to know who the Black Eyed Peas are. The Black Eyed Peas, Hey Mama. Please listen to
Yeah,
that
but
song.
the original Black Eyed Peas, that's the joint, that's the jam. Turn it up and play it again.
Yes, that was a good
That was
one.
before Fergie even came into the group.
True, 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 true.
So
But you're
that
right.
is a lesson for you all, that you want to be us so bad. You want to age like us. You don't have all the preservatives in our system that we had in our system. Okay. You weren't raised on ding dongs, ho hos, and Twinkies. Okay. You were raised
I
on
think
holistic and organic.
this is one of my favorite things about the podcast, that I can say something and it just sets you off, Ross. I'm just like, yes, give it to the viewers.
It's just like a rocket. It's like just taking off. Okay. Jamie Rogers says, wow, it's so wholesome with little open eyes. And then it moved on very quickly to, I want to be an 80s fitness dance class. And then
Because
he
he's
also
obsessed with
said,
the 80s fitness dance class.
and you know what? I bet you someone's going to try to do that on TikTok and be like, look at this new trend. It's not a new trend. We have been working and going into fitness. Have you heard of Zumba? We've been doing it. I feel like the cost of living issues have really made people feel less motivated to go out and spend $300 as well. $300.
Okay, $300 Australian is like $150 US. Do you know what I mean? Like that's
Last
a
time I was in
night
Australia, I spent
out.
$650.
Yeah, but that's because
$650 in
your dollar.
Australian dollars.
Exactly. That means you spent about $300 US.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's because your dollar, like that's what the Australian dollar really is not good, to be honest. But that's what's happening these days.
Good within your own? Is it good within your own?
It's basically
community?
Australia is, yeah. Like when I was in the US, I realized that prices are the same. Like a coffee here is $5, a cocktail here is like $18 to $23.
Mm-hmm.
So it's similar prices. Do you know what I mean? Like those were the prices in the US as well.
And but what's your minimum wage?
That's what I don't know. I'm not an economist. I'm an accountant.
Because our minimum wage here in California is about to go up to $17.
Let me Google it.
But gas is damn near $6, sometimes close to $7. And so it's almost 50% of your working wage. So I'm just curious to know, if you're all minimum wage is $25 an hour and the coffee is $5, it's only it's only 20% of your hourly wage versus almost 50%.
Yeah, see, ours is $24.10 per hour, and that's provided by the Google AI overview.
Okay, so it works, right? Your dollar goes far within your own community, but it's when you branch out to somewhere like here is where you get a lot less.
That's why I said to you, like when you and I met up in New York, I was like, we need to pregame in a hotel because I don't want to spend money in like when we go out.
Look, we have a routine. We have a routine here because every time we have a party, we start here, we end at a certain time, and then we walk to the bars because they're right down the street. So
Yes.
we walk to the bars. On the way to the bar, we stop at the liquor store. We get 2 drinks. We go around the block and we come to the entrance of the door. By the time we get to the entrance of the door, we have downed our drinks and we're ready to party. Now, if the DJ is bad, it's a rough night. If the DJ is good, then we don't need any of the drinks and then we just turn up.
Can I just say, what was that drink that, like, you and I, we went out in LA near your place, and we went to the bottle shop, or a bottle-o in Australia, as we would say. We went to the bottle-o and we bought those drinks, and you guys put what's that powder? Like the seasoning on the
Tahini?
drink? Yes, you put tahini on those drinks that we got. What were those drinks?
I don't even remember that. That was in February.
That was in February. Well, we bought drinks and then you literally just pulled some tahini out of your bag and you're like, give me a drink. And you just like put it all over my drink. And I was
Did
like,
I?
I mean, a margarita, like, I think I got maybe a bottled margarita or something like that, or something like
It could
a
have
canned
been.
tequila drink. I just thought it was hilarious. I was like, this is funny. Is this
Where was
American?
this store at? This was at our house?
Yeah, in Long Beach. Like, it was across the road from that R&B club that we went to. Remember, we walked into that club. It was like a Latino club, and then I just like went to. I was like, "Oh my god, look at that guy! Oh my god, look at that guy!" Like, just going crazy, and we were
Why am I not
dancing on the.
remembering this?
I don't know. We're gonna have
Where
to.
were they
We're gonna have
dancing?
to like across the mirrors. We're gonna have to digress offline. We're gonna have to come back to this. This is so.
Were
funny.
we in West Hollywood? Were we in Long Beach?
We were in Long Beach.
There's Mineshaft. There's the Falcon.
I think it was Mineshaft. Oh, maybe it was the Falcon actually.
There's no. I think I know where you're.
It's that small. It's that
Oh.
small bar.
And there was a
you
dancer
walk
on
in
there?
and there's like mirrors to the right and then the bars to the left. It's really small. They played like
yeah, that's the Falcon.
Yeah. The bottle-o was just across the road from that. Remember?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I remember now. My niece just joined us, Mariella. She said hi.
Hi,
She
Mariella.
is a dance queen protege working her way up to Broadway. So
yes,
shout out to Mariella, hair flip girl. My sister just joined, Raylene. So shout out to everybody in the live chat right now that's on. Please let us know your lessons from 2024, whether you're in Paul's chat, my chat, or on YouTube. And also let us know your goals for the coming year. What are some of your goals? I know we've kind of talked about them, but let's dive deeper. So some of my goals for this coming year is to really stay on my fitness journey because your boy just reached 204 pounds. So we are feeling heavy. We're feeling thick.
I need to convert that.
We're filling out the jeans. We're gonna have to get a new wardrobe, which means I gotta spend money, which I hate doing. But do I really? So that's one goal. The other goal is to
You're 92. Sorry, I just converted that to kilos. You're 92.5 kilos. That's muscle, girl.
Thick.
Damn, you're like 7 kilos heavier than me.
That's like 14 pounds.
Yeah.
Because it's what? 1 kilo is 1 point. How many pounds? Again, we're gay. We're not smart.
1 kilo is 2.2 pounds.
There you go.
I'm 187 pounds.
So I'm about 16 pounds heavier than you.
Okay, she's thick.
Okay. But you know what? I could see it in my face. Because when we run back the podcast, so at the beginning, when you see the Christmas tree behind me, I could see it all in my face, like the difference in I was like, oh. But also, when I went over a speed bump the other day, I had a brace because everything was jiggling, which is cute. So I was like, all right, we are getting big. What are some of your other goals for 2025?
I need to think about I like to think about my goals because I always achieve them, if that makes sense. Like everything that I say I want to do that year, I do. Like I get it done. So I think I've just got a little things like I want to keep up my Spanish lessons. I just finished a term of pre-intermediate Spanish classes, and so
Yes.
I'm gonna then move into like intermediate level one. Um, in terms of the podcast, I would like to do like 2 seasons with you minimum. Like we obviously are going to do more, but at least 2 more seasons with you. We need to increase our following. We need to increase our engagement. So I want to invest into the podcast.
Yes.
Um, Emotionally, and I guess like what's this called? Internally, like I think
Internally.
I just like we've spoken about it before, give back to ourselves more.
Yes.
In terms of rest, in terms of loving ourselves more. I think as well, like I would like to continue on and go back to therapy to just work on a few things in my mind that I need to
Mhm.
that I would like to develop on, if that makes sense. Um, in terms
Girl,
of
don't go to
partying,
therapy. They're gonna tell you something's wrong. There's nothing wrong now, but they're gonna find something and they're gonna like, this is wrong. Okay, you're good. Just call
I'm
me.
good.
You don't go to therapy. I'm not gonna tell you nothing's wrong, but I'm gonna tell you if something's not right. I will tell you that.
You're just gonna fuel my delusion, and I'll love it.
You know what? And that is one of my goals for 2025 is to be more delusional. A little
Yes,
bit.
hang out with me more.
Because
Hang out with me more.
no, let me tell you why. Because this is coming off of your points, and I'll let you continue in just a second.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. No, it's good.
when you're delusional at times, you break through your own limitations. And so there's no limitation for you because if it's like I'm I'm gonna achieve $1 million this year, and people are like, you're delusional, but like you don't know when to stop, right? On
Yeah,
earning or
yeah.
trying. So when you hit
Mm.
that goal, people are like, oh, he really achieved it. And it's because the delusion is that you can make it happen, right? Or the belief is that you can make it happen. And you don't believe in all the outside pressures of them telling you you can't make it happen. So part of my goal for 2025 is to be a little bit more delusional and just take the plunge and make it happen, right?
But I think,
So,
yeah, but I think that when it comes to being delusional, like as always, everything needs to happen with self awareness, if that makes sense. So you can be
mhm,
delusional, but I think
mhm.
if you have a self awareness to be like, you know what, I'm like effing delusional right now, but know, I know that my goal is delusional right now, but I also know that I know myself and I can achieve it. It might not be the
Exactly.
$1 million, but I'm going to achieve the 500,000. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you have the ability to achieve something because you know you can achieve it, and the delusion just pushes you to that point, if that makes sense.
Yes. It pushes you, but it also doesn't limit you. Right. So like sometimes there is like such a blockage because like when you tell people that you're gonna get a dog, they're like, oh, that's so much work. You don't think I know this? You don't think I know that a dog's gonna be a lot of work? We've already prepped for this, or when people are
um
like, we're thinking about having a baby, and they're like, that's a lot of work. Like, of course it's a lot of work. What are you thinking?
yeah,
Come on.
yeah. Two things. So what was I talking about? I was talking about, well, first of all, sorry, you just said I'm really delusional right now. Like my Pisces brain is on overdrive. So you just said the word limited. And again, like my mind goes to all the wicked memes. And the best wicked meme I've seen is like Elphaba in the moment with her cape like
Yes.
drawn, and she's like unlimited, and then it's got like the grinder face on her. Grinder Unlimited.
That I have not seen this.
I'm gonna
I
find
need
it and I'm
I
gonna
need
send
to
it to you.
I need to
I'm
get
gonna
back on the
find it and
internet and
send it to
look at
you.
this.
Um, but I guess two more things that I thought of in terms of my goals, and then I want to hear yours. Uh, um, I want to be a bit more intentional about drinking and partying, as in like I that was
Yes.
another thing that I learned this year because I didn't have money to party as much as I would have liked to party overseas because the Australian dollar isn't amazing. Is that I could go to a party and I could be sober and I could, be a vibe and people would still gravitate towards me and I could do all of that sober. So I think I want to be a bit more intentional next year about partying. But my biggest goal next year is to leave Adelaide. So I don't know what that's going to look like. I have some ideas. Um, yeah,
The
that's
way
my
my
biggest
mind is
goal
blown
next
right
year.
now, just like you dropping this news on me, like I wasn't gonna react.
But also, I've been telling you like for
I
ever
know that you've
since.
been wanting to do it, but like I thought we were going to New York at 35. I didn't think you were just like gonna leave Adelaide tomorrow.
Yeah, look, we're working towards that. Okay, we're gonna get to New York. I promise you.
Yes. No, we really are. We are going to get to New York. That's part of my goals for 2025 is to rapidly grow our Instagram organically. So to put
Yes.
in the effort to really get on the page and go and start to
Yes.
comment and interact with people on their Instagrams, because we don't know if TikTok's going to be here in another month. So we're gonna stray away from TikTok. But again, this is what happens when Gen Z wants to be a millennial. Okay, y'all are coming back to the originals. It was us on Instagram who started it before y'all got on TikTok. Okay. Even though I
Do
do
you-
I do appreciate a good TikTok, but I'm just saying, pretty soon y'all are gonna be back here talking about follow me on Instagram. We never left. We never left. We're still here. We're still here. We might have joined TikTok, but we're still here on Instagram. Okay.
yeah.
I do have some stories speaking of viewers.
Yes. Yes. Give it to
Sorry,
us.
y'all.
I
I
love a
blew out
viewer
my hair
story.
and then like I
I would,
straightened it because it's but I'm not used to this, so it's like it's
but
flapping all over the
but
place.
the moment your hair did that was when I said I want to leave Adelaide, and your hair was like.
My hair was confused. Okay, let's get into this. Hold on. I have them in my notes, y'all. I have these in my notes. Okay.
She got
Let
notes.
let me go down to the notes. I'm gonna save this one for last. Um, Mike said, I've been dreaming of visiting Thailand. My goal is to continue saving and have enough before summer so that I can travel, so that I can see the world differently because I think I need that perspective shift, especially after the nightmare in 2024 here in America. So that's from Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, Lord. Gage said after a few, Gage's goal is to prioritize my physical and mental health. After kind of neglecting myself for a few years, I just want to focus on getting back to the gym, meditating regularly. I realized that I can't pour from an empty cup. So it's time to take care of myself first.
Yes, common self-love.
That was a good one.
Can I give a one thing that my therapist, a technique my therapist gave me was to learn to like love yourself more and to give more to yourself. Like literally stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eye, put your hand on your heart, and just stare at yourself. Like
Oh,
it's really uncomfortable, but at the same time, you learn to love yourself more that way. And I do it so many times. I love myself.
I need to do that, but I'm gonna be
Do
like,
it. You'll
did I
cry.
floss today?
Self-awareness, girl.
Self-awareness. Like, ooh,
Give me more. Give me more.
is is that breath? Hold on,
Okay, give me
Let's
more. I want to
see.
hear more.
Oh, this one's a little. It's a little sad. Jay said next year I want to focus on mending some relationships in my family. I have strayed away from some of my family, really trying to figure out who I am. However, I think it's time to reconnect because I do miss the connections that I had with them. Life is too short to stay distant. And I hope there is common ground and I haven't strayed too far away from the bunch. Which, I mean, that's fair. We all have to take a moment to find ourselves.
That's literally what I was going to say. Like, I think, you obviously did the work to understand who you are, and you obviously did the work to find out who you are and what you like and what your boundaries are. So I guess I don't know what your relationship is with your family, but I'm all for that because I'm a family person, but at the same time, still protect yourself in case they, I don't know, hurt you or you hurt yourself. Like, yeah, just stay true to who you are.
I want to mention this to Jay if they're listening to this or if I don't think they're live streaming with us now, but if you get to this and you get to this point, you're listening to this, sometimes your self-awareness, if you stray away from certain people, even if it is in
Yeah.
your family, that's okay because they might not be your cup of tea. They might not be filling your cup. They might be
Yes.
taking from your cup. So just be comfortable with your close inner circle, whether it's family, chosen family, or your friends, because those are the people that are going to show up for you when you need it the most.
Exactly.
Sometimes you overextend yourself to try and have these relationships that just aren't going to work for you in your space at this chapter in your life. And that's
Mhm.
okay, because sometimes you got to let it be, right?
Yeah.
There's a few people that I know like that, where it's like, you're good to see once in a while. And they asked me one time, we should do this more often. I said, no, it's good. I like catching up with you every now and then, because I genuinely mean that. Like, this was fun to do it now. I don't want to do it all the time with you, because you can be too much and you can do too much. And you can get me in a bad situation that I don't want to be in. Right now, we're
Yeah,
on
fair
my
enough.
turf and I can control the way that the situation is going. I don't want to be on your turf because I don't trust you like that. So, Jay, know that that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, this
Yes.
is the one
Let's
that I saved for you.
yes. Am I going to be giving good advice, or am I going to just be reacting and laughing? I don't know.
You're
Tell
gonna be
me. Let's
reacting, and then
surprise.
you might say it's actually not that bad.
Okay, tell us. Tell me, tell me, tell me.
Um, John said that one of the biggest lessons I learned in 2024 is to not hook up with your ex, because that can get messy really fast, especially when they're in a relationship.
John, John, have you not listened to episode 8, Exes, Friends, and Frenemies? Can we not just get along? John, have you not listened to our breakup episode? John, listen to us more, because we can tell you the tea.
I had to zoom in on you because
I know, and at that moment, my headphones died. So,
oh no. Yes, don't look up with your ex, y'all. Don't do it. There's emotional attachments that happen. We've talked about this. Um, or if you do hook up with your ex, make sure they're not in a relationship. Look, I don't know anybody's situationships or situations, but you can be in an open relationship, you can be in a closed relationship, whatever type of relationship you are in, make sure that it's not messy. So, John, good luck to you in 2025. I hope that you don't do that again. I hope you find someone better that you can regularly meet up with. How are we doing on your end, Paul? Can you hear? Are we
I can
good?
hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. We are
There's a little
back.
bit of an echo, though. It's fine.
Sorry. Sorry.
Moving on to the oh no moment of the week. What is your oh no moment of or no moment of the week?
Oh my gosh, I don't have an oh no moment of the week, but I guess to stay on, like, because after this we're gonna reveal our oh no moments of the year. So I've got two oh no moments of the year, but tell me your oh no moment of the week.
My oh no moment of the week was I waited until the last minute to go Christmas shopping. Oh Lord, it was such a nightmare to get through the stores, and I never wait this long. And I am rushing everything on Amazon. I was like, I had to prioritize my store and order my shopping in orders of busyness. And so I was like, let me go to Target, because every basic person is going to go to Target. And then I'm like, okay, so Target's going to get the busiest first. I was like, let me go to Sam's Club after, because everyone's going to hit the grocery store right after. From Sam's Club, I was like, let me roll to Ulta, because there's not really ever a line at Ulta. People are just lingering for some reason. So I went to Ulta and I got the stuff at Ulta. And then I was like, oh, no, dial that back. I went to Marshall's first, because Marshall's gets more hectic than Target. Target gets
Marshall's
more
is
hectic than Sam's Club, and Sam's Club gets more hectic um Ulta. And then finally I went to Northgate, which is a Mexican market here, which is always hectic regardless, but it's always the same kind of hecticness, and they always have all the check stands open, so it's gonna move. Um, Versus like when you go to a Target or when you go to Walmart and it's like you got two check stands that are open and you have 57 self-checkout lanes, but then you have the one person that's doing their job, like, or that's like overdoing their job. It's like 10 items only. It's like, I have 11 items. It's like, I'm probably going to move faster than anybody in this line. So, yes. So, that was my own moment of the week, because I almost did not make it to Christmas shopping. We have to shoot the podcast. We have an event tonight, an event tomorrow. We have an event on Sunday, and then I go to work on Monday.
And
and then
look,
it's Christmas Eve, and then it's Christmas Day. So I had no other space to. I was
yeah,
not going to sacrifice the gym also for Christmas presents. Sorry, y'all. Love you,
I
but it
think.
wasn't going to happen.
But one thing like about that is, Australian malls can get crazy and busy around the holiday period. But from my time in the US, like especially from my time in Jersey, like US malls can go crazy. Like people in the US take their malls seriously. And so
Mhm.
when I was in Marshalls, yeah, it can be crazy. Like people will be, fighting for that last small in that brand. Do you know what I mean? Like it's insane. It's crazy.
That
You
happened to
guys.
me one time. The clear or the crossbody Adidas bags were in for a second instead of like
Mhm,
fannies. So
mm.
I I went to go reach for this clear one, and this guy like snatched it off the rack before, and I did not even think twice. I like looked at it, I snatched it out of his hand. I said, you know exactly what I was reaching for. I do not. And then I walked away, and he was so like flabbergasted that I did that. But I wasn't in your space, and I wasn't trying to grab something that you were reaching for. That we are not kids. You are not going to beat me to the punch. I'm going to take what is mine, and that was mine. So I
I
took
would
it.
love I would love it if you then just decided after that you didn't want it anymore and you just put it like on a random spot and you just like looked at him as you put it there. That
My
would have been
mom did
funny.
that one year for Black Friday shopping. Her and her best friend, the Tickle Me Elmos were like everything that year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was small, and it was for me. It might have
Mm,
been,
mm.
I don't know. Anyways, it was for one of us. And my mom filled her whole basket with Tickle Me Elmos. And then her and her best friend, and they just like walked around the store for about an hour. And then they took two out each, and then they left the cart. And everyone started throwing stuff out of the cart.
Oh my god, I love that. Um, quick
My
shout
mom was
out
like,
to
I just did it.
quick shout out to Assad on my Instagram live. He's just said 2024 has been so amazing and productive. Just one overarching goal for 2025, which is keep the momentum going, move to Europe, and grow as a person somewhere new. Assad, that's
Hi,
live.
Assad. I will be in Europe all summer. So if you are there and you move by summer, please let me know. I love Assad. Assad is so sweet. Hello, are you still there?
Are we back? No, sorry.
You you froze.
Oh
You were
my
like
gosh.
this.
And I'm really hoping as well that I've just realized this is how raw like a podcast is, right? Like I ran out of battery on my headphones. I hope that the sound isn't bad when we listen back to it.
No, the sound is great. It's fine.
Oh, good. As in, like, I hope it's not my microphone isn't picking up you when we're talking, if that makes sense.
No, it did for a second, but I think the stream system or the system software that I use, it cuts out the background music. So I think or the background sound. So I think once it figured out that there was background noise, it cut it out. Or like an echo or a feedback. Um Oh no, moment of the year.
Yes.
What is
Okay. So
it?
I've got two. I really had to think about this. And I just tried to think, okay, like what happened on my 6 months away where I just thought, oh no. And so the first one is like, it was hilarious in the moment. So have you been to, we talked about this in the New York episode. Like, did you get birria tacos from Birria Landia?
I did not.
So you need to. Well, obviously you're from LA, so you guys would have
Yeah.
amazing birria tacos.
Yes.
But yeah, so me and my cousin's friend Andrea. So shout out to my cousin Leo and her best friend Andrea. Um, we went to the Brooklyn Birria Landia, and this is my first time back at Birria Landia after 2 years of not having it, and it's the best birria tacos that I've ever had. And there's me excited, like, oh my gosh, birria tacos. We finally get the tacos. It was freezing that day. So we take it into my cousin's car and we're like, okay, let's just eat in the car because it's freezing outside.
Yeah.
I am pulling. So the way they stacked it was the birria tacos were at the bottom. So two
Mm-hmm.
tacos stacked on top of each other. And then the consomme was on top of the two tacos. And it was
Mm-hmm.
pushed into a bag. I'm pulling everything out of the bag, and the lid of the consomme catches onto the bag, And when I pull out, I like yank it out, and the consomme goes everywhere. The consomme is also boiling hot. So
Yes.
then I like jump out of the car. The tacos fall over the ground. The consomme falls over the ground. My jeans are covered in consomme. And my cousin and like Andrea are literally just sitting in the car, just being like, what's going on? What happened? And there's me with all of our birria tacos all over the ground. And I was like,
Oh no.
I'm
Did you
so
go back in and
sorry.
buy new ones?
Yeah, we went back because I had been craving Birria for 2 years. I'd been craving it for 2 years. And so I went back and I tried to say to the guy, and again, this is, I guess it's an American thing. Like, you got to make your living in America. So I sort of go up to him and I'm just like, oh, I accidentally spilled the consomme, hoping that he would then maybe be like, don't worry, like, I'll get you another one. No, I paid for another one, which
Yep.
obviously I should. Yeah, I should. But I wonder if in Australia, someone, if they like, I think if I was in my local coffee shop and they saw me drop my coffee, they would be like, oh my God, like, let me get you another one. Do you know what I mean? Like, they would just do
So
it free
certain
of
places out here will do that.
charge.
But other places, like, especially if it's like a smaller mom and pop shop, they're not going to do that. But like, if you're at an In-N-Out Burger here and like they go to hand you your burger in the drive-thru and then like you miss it and it falls to the floor, they will make you a brand new one.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my first oh no moment of the year where I just dropped Birria everywhere, all over my cousin's car as well, and all over my pants. But positives to that was we still ate birria taco, and I got a new pair of vintage shorts out of it, so that was good.
Yes.
Now here's gonna be me again, and taking our podcast into the out of MA15 that we want it to be. So this is just a funny one. I just thought it was hilarious. So in Rome, where we stayed in Rome was about an hour out from the gay bus.
Yes.
Yeah. So I met up with you that night at the, what was it called? Coming Out in Rome, which is like right next to the Colosseum.
Yeah.
Amazing. Love it. So yeah, so a whole day of rugby. That day as well, I think I was just drinking so much beer because that's what you do at a rugby tournament. You just drink a lot of beer. So before we leave the hotel, I go to my friend like, I'm just gonna douche. So there's me, because you never know what's gonna happen in a night of Rome Colosseum, because this is what dreams are made. You never know. You never know. You got to be prepared, right? So there's me, and then so it's an hour public transport out. So I've douched, and then we're heading into Rome. I have my first drink. I look at my friend, and I'm like, I need to go to the toilet.
Oh no.
So that's my oh no moment. Another oh no moment of the year, and another oh no moment of life, I guess, when you douche and it goes to waste.
Oh no. Sorry. Why you were telling me that story? All hell was breaking loose on this end as well. Like, the podcast, an old episode popped up and started playing randomly, and I was like trying to focus and let it go. And I was like, I have to turn this thing off.
That's okay. You have to listen back later. But and you know what? We need.
No. I heard all of it. I did.
But I just thought of a 2025 goal for our podcast, which is we need an IT person. So IT people out there, Jamie, I'm looking at you.
Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate you for
Thank you for being our IT architect. Thank you so
for
much.
volunteering to be our IT person. But also, another goal for this podcast is I would like to actually pitch it out so that someone can push this forward.
I totally agree with that.
Yes.
I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking
advertise
about
it. I had my own no moment of the year and I forgot it.
Okay, well, while you think about that, I'll just do a quick shout out again to Waka Andy on my Instagram live. So he said 2024 was the first time I left the country, and I definitely caught the travel bug. 2025 Japan. Also,
Japan is beautiful.
I need to go to Japan. Also, Waka Andy is starting a new job So it's going to be a refresher, and he just finished his job yesterday. So congratulations. Keep the travel bug.
Congratulations.
The travel bug is the best.
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you remember
absolutely.
your
Look, go to gay or straight?
okay.
Gay. Okay, here's what you got to do. Make your rounds. Make Madrid and Barcelona a priority. Make
Yes.
Amsterdam another priority.
Oof, I got recommendations for you.
New York another priority.
Best city in the world.
Um, Then jump on the Italy train. Jump on the Italy train for romance. Jump on the other ones for the wildness, right? So
Yes.
be wild in
Agreed.
New York, be wild in Amsterdam, and wild in Spain. Because
Yep. And then
you are gonna get your life in Spain, okay?
totally agree.
Go
And then after Italy, after you do your romantic little break in Italy, go to London and round it out with another weekend full of party and frivolity. It's the best. The best.
Oh, okay, hold on. I don't have my own
You
moment of the week, but I have good news. Are you ready for this?
Yes, let's do it.
I have landed, I can't tell you exactly what it is yet, but I have landed another hosting gig. So 2025 is already off to a great start.
Yes.
I will be meeting with everybody in January. So there will be a lot to catch up on season 2, and I'll be able to fill you in on all of this in season 2. But I have landed a new hosting gig, and I'm very excited about this. So I will be hosting that, and I'll be hosting the podcast, of course, because I'm not going anywhere, y'all. We started this from the ground up, and we are going to build this. But yes, I totally forgot to tell you about that. Very, very excited about this.
Oh my gosh, like I am so excited for you and I'm so happy for you. I feel like this is so weird. This is now showing like how much of friends we are. Like I'm kind of tearing up because I'm so happy for you.
Stop.
It's kind of gay, isn't it? That's the Pisces in me. Sorry for being
I love
gay.
it. I love it. And we can finally look, we'll be able to afford Jamie to be our
Salary.
IT person, but I'm gonna pay you American minimum wage. I can't afford to pay you Australian minimum wage. So
It probably will turn out to be good with the conversion anyway.
$25, and I can't do it. I can't give you 25, but I can give you 17. So that means we got to stick to an hour. We got to stay under an hour to make sure that Jamie gets paid.
I know, and we've just gone over the hour as well.
If I do remember my own moment of the year, y'all, I will post it on the Instagram.
Yes.
Coming for season 2, we will be having official guests on the podcast with us. I have a tarot card reader lined up for us. I have a Broadway actor already lined up for us. I have a professional dancer lined up for us. What else do I have? I have a gay ally, sexually fluid straight man also lined up for us.
Okay.
He's great. He's a great time. Everyone loves him. I don't want to give out any info yet because I don't want y'all stalking him yet.
No.
Okay. I will DM to you personally.
DM it to me personally.
But I'm so excited for season 2. Thank you all for sticking through season 1 with us as we found our roots and we found our footing here. But we did really well. We played off each other very well, and this worked out a lot better than I could have even imagined. So I'm very thankful to have you here with me, and I'm thankful that you said yes.
Of course.
to being on this with me, and that we were able to figure out our schedules on opposite sides of the world. And so I'm truly, 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 truly thankful for you for doing this with me and taking this journey with me, and growing this with me, because it's never, there's no I, there's a me. But I knew that this would be better with someone, and I'm glad that you jumped on and that you're as dedicated as you are with this. And I cannot wait to see how far we go with this podcast. And then we're going to sell it, and then we're going to start a new one, and then we're going to sell that, and we're going to buy our penthouse in New York.
I need to think about who's going to play me on Netflix.
I don't know who has a big enough booty in Hollywood to play me, like a natural one. I don't know.
Yourself.
Well, when you just got to do something right, you just got to do it yourself. So it just looks like you and I are just gonna have to be signed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. If you were late tuning into the season, go back, rewatch all the episodes. We're on a podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can watch the videos on YouTube. Oh, I just got a glimpse of myself in the second screen. I look good.
I'm actually gonna because from today onwards, from today, there's 10 more days left of 2020. 10 more days. Gosh. There's 10 more days left of 2024. So every day I'm gonna repost the episodes. So yes, I'll give you guys a chance to get on top of the episodes again before 2024 ends. I want to say thank you again to you, Russ, because thank you for just being there in the moment that I needed something, and this podcast was what I didn't know I needed, but I needed. And so thank you so much. Thank you to the listeners. Continue to follow us, continue to share us, continue to like our content, continue to DM us, like DM us with your stories.
But really though, DM us.
And wishing all the viewers a happy holiday. Merry Christmas.
We also want to wish you a prosperous start to 2025, as we will be starting and hitting in season 2 after the new year has started. But we're excited to see where everyone is at, and excited to be filled in. We're excited to fill you in on our end. Maybe I'll be able to get you all some footage from the new project that I'm working on. We can talk about it. But I really, 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 really hope that you all have a wonderful Christmas. You don't celebrate Christmas, but you celebrate Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. I hope you are enjoying the season with loved ones, selected family, chosen family, and extended friends. And that I wish you all peace, happiness, joy, and prosperity, and to win the lottery. All right, y'all. We are logging off for 2024. Happy New Year. We will see you next time. Bye.